right now, Dustin, you probably know this, is the last of the Tea Party lawsuits against the IRS settled in Cincinnati last week. The IRS was ordered now to pay $3.5 million as part of the class action settlement over the harassment of about 100 Tea Party groups around the country. And of course, Lois Lerner was at the core of that. And what these cases established. Now, this is the third one that settled. There were two of them that settled late last year, one in October, one in November. So this is now the third case, and this is the final straw in the litigation, except for some other ancillary things. But here's the thing that grew out of this, Dustin, and that is this. It was well established as a matter of fact in these cases that the IRS became a weaponized tool of the Obama administration, pointed specifically at patriotic Tea Party groups, conservative Christian, right-leaning organizations, particularly for the purposes of immobilizing these groups so the Obama administration, so that Obama would win the 2012 election. It was a weaponized tool they used against these groups. And I'm telling you, anytime you got it. Now, let's step back from that for a second. And let me say this. Part of the settlement was that the IRS was going to implement some administrative procedures, which they say they have done, that's going to prevent this from ever happening again. Well, you want to know what that is? It's B as in B, S as in S, because the fact of the matter is this is going on for decades, not years. Obama's not the first one that's ever done this before. He learned this from other presidents. It's been done before. In fact, Richard Nixon did it, and there was all kinds of fallout as a result of what he did. And that's why we have the Privacy Act and the Freedom of Information Act, is because of what Richard Nixon did with the IRS. And everybody assured us at that time that, oh, there's not going to be any more IRS abuse, and we don't have to worry about the IRS being a tool of a rogue administration. It's never going to happen again. And let me tell you something. As long as we got people in government who are willing to do anything to get elected or reelected, then this kind of organization is always ripe for abuse, because the IRS, unlike the FBI, unlike the DEA, unlike ICE, unlike any of these other federal agencies, the IRS is the only federal agency that can claim an interest in every personal and business transaction that you engage in. And they don't need a warrant, Dustin. That's what makes it so dangerous. They do not need court supervision to get into any of this stuff and do any of the things that they do. So yeah, okay, we've got this administrative rule, we got a regulation, but you know what? We've already established that they don't follow their own rules. They don't pay attention to their own regulations. So what makes us think that they're going to follow these rules? There's no part of me who believes they're going to follow these rules. And that's just another reason why I continue to maintain that the only solution to this problem is to abolish the income tax in the IRS entirely and start over with something new.